Not yet. I put your mic down.
You're listening to the home of cool, irreverent, and entertaining talk. Right here on LA Talk Radio. You're listening to The Art of Love with your host, Lucia. Right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to The Art of Love. My name is Lucia. I'm your host and a dating and relationship expert. And I'm here to entertain, educate, and enlighten you about love, dating, and relationships. Take your live calls, answer your emails, and speak to authors of books which I find interesting. And this week, I'm actually the author. I'm going to interview myself, kind of. Well, not really. I figured I better have some guests here, so I'm just not talking to myself the whole time. So I have someone that I've known via email for a while, but I've never met her, and I'm glad I finally met her. She's here with her cub, if I can say that, because we're going to talk all things cougar and cubs today. I have a program for guys called How to Catch Your Cougar. We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss this lovely couple. They are engaged. For all the doubters, for all the non-believers who say that the younger guys just want the women for sex and they don't want to marry them. There's a 14-year age difference. They're engaged, I'm happy to say. And then we're going to answer some emails, of course, on the cougar and cub topic. So I'm sure you're wondering who I'm talking about. And let me introduce my lovely guests. I have Lena. Say hello.
Hi.
And Sean.
How you doing?
And Sean, just had what is it?
Cochlear implant surgery.
In his brain.
Yes.
So he can't hear out of one ear, and therefore he can't really talk.
Well, I can talk, but I can't hear much.
Okay. Wow. So, well, congratulations on surviving brain surgery.
I had the thing done 2 days ago.
Wow. And you still managed to come down here today.
I'm a little out of it, but I'm getting there.
Well, thank you for being here.
Okay.
This will be interesting. Okay. So, you guys, how long have you been dating?
It'll be 6 years this fall.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you met, Sean was 22.
23.
23, okay.
Yeah, he'll be 29 in May.
And you were 23 plus 14.
I was 37.
And, okay, so tell me a bit about how it happened.
Well, it was actually my very first day at work. I got a job at CBS Paramount Network TV.
Uh-huh.
And it was my very first day. And we needed something actually from the mailroom. And I called down there, and up came Sean.
And up came your future husband. That was easy.
Just ordered him.
Ordered him from the mailroom. Oh, my God. So what was it, love at first sight?
Well, I just thought he was like, I don't know. I was just like really attracted to him at first. I just thought he was really handsome. He had long, kind of blondish hair. He kind of looked like a Jeff Spicoli kind of. And he was super helpful, very friendly. And I talked to him a little bit, and then he had an accent.
Mm-hmm.
And I love accents. And I was like,
what kind of accent?
Well, it sounded like Australian or Irish or, something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't realize that he was actually hearing impaired.
Ah.
So I started to say something, and he turned around and walked away, and I was like,
uh-oh.
Oh, okay. And I was like, okay. I knew I'd see him again. And then when next time he came up, I started talking to him more, and he goes, oh, no, I've got hearing aids. And he moved his hair, and I was like, oh, okay. So that's kind of how it started. And then I just saw him every day because he delivered my mail 3 times a day.
Ooh.
And, and then he would bring me drinks, and he would bring me lunch, and,
So he started giving you stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know a guy's interested. They always start giving you. So when did you realize that you liked her? How soon after meeting her?
Probably after the second time I saw him.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so then how long did it take for you guys, Lena, to start dating?
Well, we have kind of a complicated history, but
Very
just
It's always complicated,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes, it is. But just to back up really quick, what was kind of funny about actually the first day that he met me as well is that his supervisor had already seen me, and he had told him, oh, there's this really, beautiful Hispanic woman, new that just started today, you should go check her out. So he already
Yeah.
The word was out.
The word was, yeah.
The word was spreading.
So then I asked him a couple of, maybe a week later. He left town actually, and he was just kind of gone for a while. It was kind of random.
And you missed him?
I did actually miss him. It was kind of weird. And then when we came back, we actually went to lunch on the lot for the first time, and it really just started as a friendship, really. And because he had been in the mailroom for a couple of years, I worked in development, and I knew that he wanted to be a cinematographer, and he wanted to get a PA job on a pilot. So he kind of had aspirations that I could help him with. So so I was helping with his resume, and helping him get out of the mailroom and onto a pilot for CBS, and that's kind of how it started his career. So we kind of had that in common,
right,
at first, and then, but our first, I guess, official date, off the lot, was it's kind of a funny story. We always have funny stories. I had asked him if he wanted to go have a drink after work, and one of the shows that we produced was Medium.
Oh my God.
Oh, I love
that
Medium.
show, Medium.
Why is it off the air? What happened?
I don't know. This was years ago. When it was really hot.
Yeah.
And I said, do you want to go? How about Wednesday night? And it was premiering that week on Wednesday night, and he goes, oh no, I can't. I have to watch the premiere of Medium. And I was like, what? Okay. And then I later find out that I don't know why he said that, because he said because he knew that I liked that show, and I don't know. It was just kind of odd. It was just really cute though. But anyway, he wound up meeting me at a place he suggested, and we had a great time. We had a really, really good time just talking. Like I said, we were friends for quite a couple of months before anything.
So after about 2 months, you started dating, you'd say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right before the holidays.
Yeah, and then obviously you've been dating 6 years. So when did you propose?
That was
he did propose, didn't he?
No, yes. What he did was after 5 years, it was kind of
it's about time.
Well, it was I'd already been married, so it wasn't that wasn't at all that's what I wanted at all.
Yeah.
It was more him actually than me. I just wanted to have a solid relationship day to day. That was what was important to me, not being married per se. But after 5 years, it was okay, what are we doing? Not are we getting married? Not, but what are we doing? Type of situation. And we kind of broke up for a little bit, just for a week or so, and then.
There's always a breakup before an engagement, isn't there? I've noticed that. I'm
really?
not kidding. Yes.
Oh, and then he came back, and he made this huge poster board of all these, because he's a photographer, and of all these different pictures of us over the years, and different, just different things that were special to us. And he wrote me this beautiful, long, basically proposal letter to me.
Proposal. He had a proposal, an actual proposal, literally.
Literally.
Here's my proposal. Here's what I propose.
Exactly.
This merger.
And that was January 2011. Yeah, 2011. And
now the wedding's in July.
Yeah, and so we've been we're
planning it. Congratulations. Yeah. Okay, we're going to get back to your story. Sure. We're going to draw it out since we have a lot of time here.
Sure.
Because I want to find out if you had, difficulties with family, et cetera, et cetera. So I have an email here, and I'm going to read it, and I want to get your opinion first before I answer it. So the guy says, I'm 25 years of age. There's a pretty gal that I work with, G, kind of applies to you guys, who somewhat resembles you. He's talking about resembles me.
Right.
I doubt anybody resembles me, but okay. He goes, I'm very attracted to her. Occasionally her and I have small talk. I wish I had the courage to eventually ask her out. So, since you've been in that situation, what advice can you give to our friend Kenny?
I would say, I would say be very honest and be yourself. I mean, Sean was just so himself that I just couldn't help but.
You just have to agree with her. You don't think she's right.
Did you hear what he just said?
It's like you have to agree with her. You don't think she's right.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I find it fascinating that Sean reads lips. You know, I might need him for something once in a while. You know,
Right,
to know someone who reads lips.
But I think that he should. You know, I don't think he should be intimidated at all. I think that he should definitely just, not be cheesy, obviously. But just be very, very honest and funny.
Yeah,
Women
funny.
love funny.
We sure do. We may not marry funny, but we
love funny.
Depending, on what the guy looks like. Because we always go, I want someone funny. Okay, so here's the 300-pound guy who's funny. You gonna marry him? Well. So we do want funny, but we have to have the looks too, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree. The problem with guys when they are interested in a woman is that they're afraid of rejection, obviously.
Sure.
Because they have an agenda. They're like, okay, I got to ask this woman out, or I want to talk to this woman, but my end game is I want to ask her out and I want her to say yes, and if she doesn't say yes, I'm going to be devastated. Am I talking too fast for you? Okay. And I'm trying to. I'm just kidding. And see if I can mess them up with the lip reading. And so I say, when you approach someone, don't have an agenda, because you don't even know anything.
That's true.
Yeah. So just talk, have a conversation, and go with the flow. And if it works out, then, and you don't have to, ask her out like, do you want to go out?
Right.
Do you want to go on a date?
Right. Well, the good thing is that they work together, or go and have lunch. That's a kind of an easy thing.
Yeah, that's so easy if you work together.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, hey, do you want to go grab a bite after work? And it
exactly.
So it shouldn't, so just don't be intimidated.
Right.
And of course I talk about more about this in my I have to call it a program. It's actually a recording. I did an MP3 recording because I hate writing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to talk it. So it's available online at howtocatchacougar.net, because I found that guys were constantly writing in with the same questions. Where do I meet older women?
Really?
Oh, yeah. How do I approach them?
Where do I meet older women?
Yeah. And I actually, in my MP3, that's what I'm going to call it, I talk about 3 different places, the 3 top places where you can meet cougars, and also how to approach them and impress them and attract them. So I definitely cover that part, because everyone seems to want to know. And then I also talk about the 2 types of cougars. Do you know what the 2 types of cougars are?
No, I don't even know.
Do you know what the 2 types?
No.
Well, there's 2 types. There's the ones who are looking for a relationship, an actual relationship, and that constitutes probably about 2/3 of the cougars, according to a survey from a couple of years ago on Cougar.com. I have official information. And then 1/3 are just looking for sex, or a short term, a fling, casual, friends with benefits, one night stand, all that stuff.
Right.
And so you have to know who you're dealing with.
Sure.
Because if you're looking, and then for the guys, it's the other way around. About 2/3 of them are actually just looking for sex, and then 1/3 are actually looking for a relationship. So of course, so if you're just looking for sex as the guy, then you're going to have a different approach depending on who it is.
That's true.
Because I know like online, on the dating sites, I'm, on there partly for research, partly for dating. And if a guy has his shirt off in his default photo, I don't care how hot he is, that's it. I'm not interested, because obviously he's trying to show the goods.
Right.
Because he's
right.
He's just looking for sex.
Right.
And so, I say know what you're looking for, and otherwise, and be honest and upfront. If you're just looking for sex, say it.
Right.
Because there's no reason to lie, and just be transparent, and then just saves time and energy, right? And misunderstandings and slash tires and broken windows. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Okay. So I think we helped Kenny out. Now here's an interesting one. I plan to marry a younger man, 28 years younger.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
So if he's 20, she's 48. I mean, I'm all for cougar couple relationships, but this is. But listen to this. Okay, we have not made love at all yet. He wants to wait until we're married. I think they're from another country because I can't imagine someone here. Well, that's not true. You never know.
Right.
He might be Mormon. And I do not want to force the issue. How do we know if we can satisfy each other in the bedroom? Any?
Oh my God. How long have they been together?
Everyone looks shell shocked. She didn't say, and I didn't ask. It doesn't really matter.
So they're gonna get married?
Well, she said I plan to marry. I don't know. That doesn't mean they're engaged. Maybe she's planning on it. Maybe. Well, I guess he is too because he doesn't want to get married till they have. He doesn't want to have sex till they get married, as opposed to not wanting to get married till they have sex.
So her question is, how do I? She wants to, right?
Well, yeah. She says, how do we know if we can satisfy each other?
Has he ever had sex? A lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, I know. I always have to work around what they give me.
I don't know.
No, because if he wants to wait till he gets married, then I doubt he's.
Not.
So then he's a virgin on top of it all.
Wow.
I
don't know.
All right, let me answer.
I would keep looking.
You guys are. Well, let's not. Oh, sure, just dump him because he won't have sex. Now, if this was the other way around, and a woman didn't want to have sex, that'd be really sexist.
Yeah.
She's got to convince him to have sex.
Right.
Well, there's two ways to go about it. I mean, they say that if you really are in love with someone and you really are serious about having a future together, then there's just going to be a natural chemistry there, just because of the feelings.
Sure.
Because it's mainly about the feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And if for some reason, there are issues, then because you do love each other, you'll work it out. You'll do what you have to do. Either, read a book, look at a porn film, something.
Right.
Go to sex therapy if it's not there.
Right.
So it shouldn't be about will we satisfy each other. If you love each other, then you'll work it through and there'll be a natural chemistry.
Right.
However,
I wonder if this lady has money.
I don't. Again, wow. You ask a lot of questions. I know. I just have 3 sentences here to work from. I would say, see if he's willing to do. Ask him what his reasons are. If it's religious reasons, then it's kind of hard to get around that. But just maybe try to, if he's at least willing to kiss. A lot of times you can tell from the kiss.
Right.
Have you found that?
Yeah, definitely.
Dating days.
That was very much like us. Our first hug, actually.
Our
first hug was pretty amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, actually.
I've never felt that way with somebody before, so I knew that we had something.
Right.
Yeah,
it was
from a hug.
Just from a hug. Wow, I never heard that. I heard from a kiss, but not from a hug.
Yeah. Well, my face was next to his.
The sparks.
It was very electrifying.
Right.
It done we have achieved together for 500 years, and finally we got back together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of like Once Upon a Time. Were you guys watching that show?
No, I haven't seen that show.
Since we mentioned Medium earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, there's storybook characters, and now they live in modern day America,
right.
And they had, the prince and princess. They were together in the past, and now they've been reunited.
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of maybe you guys were prince and princess in the land far, far away. Once upon a time.
Feels like I've known him before.
Yeah. So I guess this woman Penny, that's what she's gonna have to do. If she can't convince him to go against his morals,
right?
Then she's just gonna have to base it on how he kisses and whatever else they're doing.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's.
Otherwise, you're just gonna have to, wing it.
Right.
So back to you guys.
Yeah.
So was there any opposition when people found out about your age difference from anyone?
Yeah.
You want to talk about the CBS securing gosh?
CBS.
CBS security. No, she was asking. Yeah, but they were never opposed to us. She was asking if anybody was against us. I would say mostly the people, if anybody was against us, would be some of his friends and many past bimbos / girls.
That's not true.
wannabe girlfriends, over the years. So they were very jealous. Very jealous.
And they probably couldn't understand why he was dating someone 14 years older.
Right. So I had some really wonderful nicknames over the years.
Oh, for the exes? But
they were never exes.
Oh,
they were just girls that wanted to be his girlfriend.
In his circle?
Yeah.
In his posse?
Yeah. They just wanted to be with him. He's like,
doesn't know what to say or what not to say. How much to reveal? Don't worry, they're not listening.
When
They're
I
out.
first met her, I was so kind of trying to figure out who I am. So it took me a lot longer than I expected. If that makes sense.
What took you a lot longer?
He was trying to figure out who he was, because he
Yeah, of course, he was only 23 at the time.
And, he had his group of friends, really good-looking group of guys that kind of grew up together. And, they were all like, each other's wingmans. And, they just had their, routine every weekend.
Right.
And so me coming in the picture, especially because I had children, too, that was like, oh, my God.
My
like,
plan.
Instant dad, they kind of resented that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of
So because you pulled him away from his group, and so they...
Right, of guy friends.
Yeah.
And then girls, they were just jealous. They were just that flat out jealous,
Yeah, so maybe it wasn't so much because of the age difference. It's just that, you got him and they didn't.
Yeah, but it was also the age difference, too. They would call me grandma and,
And you were 37 at the time?
Yeah, I was 37, They would say all kinds of nasty things about me, and just how his mom. I remember this one girl was trying to tell him, oh, your mom's not gonna want to raise my kids who were really little at the time.
Uh-huh.
She's not gonna, like 2 and 4. She's not gonna want to raise somebody else's kids and be a grandmother to somebody's kids that aren't hers. She's gonna want her own, and just you name it.
Wow.
They said it.
To him? They said it to him?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gee, way to win someone over,
Yeah. They're just nasty. Just a lot of girls. Just relentless.
Well, I'm assuming they were like 21, 22.
They were like in their mid-20s.
Yeah.
They were like, early to mid. Yeah, because it's been almost 6 years, so it's like the past couple of years, remember how I told you that, at the end, the 5 years, I was kind of like, okay, what are you doing? Because that had a lot to do with it. Because I had tolerated it for a long time because he shared everything with me, or I would find out. Mm-hmm. And, after like the third year, it's like we knew we were going to be together, and it's like we were almost like laughing at all the stuff that these girls were trying to do.
Still,
and they didn't
years.
know that I knew all this stuff.
Ah.
So I was just like, oh, God, they don't even know. Because he would like play along sometimes because he is a flirt.
Uh-huh.
And he gets a lot of attention because he's good looking.
Yes.
And so a lot of girls like...
And you're
looking at me.
Hello. This is all because she was looking through my phone during my sleep.
You looked through his phone?
Hello.
Oh yeah, because there were some things that it was like just didn't. There were some things that just didn't, add up, and it was like a child, It's like, what's this, Because the thing is that I always knew that he loved me, but I also knew his past behavior, and how, like I said, he likes the attention. He liked, having, like, as he always said, girls just fly at me. I don't do anything,
Mr. Innocent over there.
Yeah, And so I would just be like, okay, whatever. I know how he feels about me. We're always together. I know he's not cheating on me or anything. But then after a while, I was just like, okay, I'm tired of it. It's like, you need to tell these girls, like, enough is enough. Mm-hmm. Quit trying to break us up. Quit trying to, like, say nasty things about me. Quit trying to, turn him against me, all kinds of things.
Right.
So that's when kind of...
So they must have freaked out when they found out you were engaged.
Yeah, a lot of them were. I mean, everyone, just never thought that it would work out. I mean, even his very best friend. Well, you should tell the story about Renee. The very first, that same date that I was telling you about where we met to have a drink. Tell her what Renee did, his best friend.
Is that a guy or a girl?
A guy.
My best friend, he was wondering how does she look. So in order for him to see what she looked like without you knowing, he had to come at me and sat at a different table like across the room and watched me and her talk. And it was pretty.
Oh, so you had a spy on the first
Yeah,
date.
I had a spy that I didn't even know about. He didn't tell me until years later.
And so did she pass the look test?
I guess.
Yeah.
According to the friend.
Yeah.
For the friend. No,
Yeah.
obviously for you she did. But
But then he's one of the ones that later just, like, I don't know, couldn't handle. He got very upset when he found out we were engaged.
isn't that crazy?
It's like, really, Renee? It's been 5 years, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
you haven't accepted it yet after 5 years?
Yeah. We were like, okay.
Because, like, has he explained himself, like, what the problem is for him? Like, what, he wants your boyfriend to your fiancé to marry someone his age or younger?
I don't really ever know why Renee had a problem.
I'm surprised you didn't ask. You don't care?
I always tried to be nice to him and everything. I don't know. He just, like, I don't know. He just felt like I was taking him away from him because the routine was that he would get off work, he'd come home, and they would hang out every day. And that was the routine. And so, even though he had a long-term girlfriend, who he's still with, actually, he only saw her on certain days. And so he wanted Sean to have that same schedule with me.
Controlling much?
Was that good?
Which, and the thing is, the first couple of years of our relationship, like I said, it was very complicated. I couldn't see him anytime I wanted either, so there were some times when we couldn't see each other but once a week sometimes. So I don't know why he never got over it. Most of his other friends did. All of his other friends did. But for some reason, he didn't. And he never wanted to hang out with us, with him and his girlfriend much. I mean, maybe a couple times. Like, in almost 6 years, I can count on one hand how many times we've, like, hung out, like, with the four of us.
Yeah. Do you think he wouldn't be as resistant to you if you had been Sean's age or younger?
No, because apparently Sean had a not steady girlfriend, but kind of an on-again, off-again girlfriend in high school, and he hated her too.
Oh, okay. So he anyway. So
I think he's just jealous or secretly in love with Sean.
A bromance.
He kind of had a major bromance.
Yes, still going apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last year when we sat down to go tell him and his other friend, that was the last time we've seen him because they just had a huge fight because he got mad that we were engaged and we had just gotten and we just came
Guess
back.
He's not coming to the wedding.
I don't know. We that day we had just gone down and put the deposit on the place. We were like in such great mood, and we were going to have drink and happy hour with two of his best friends to share the news, and they got mad at him.
Mm-hmm.
It was like,
well, because I didn't come alone because they were hoping like to have a guy night out.
Uh-huh.
But because she written every time we come, so I guess that's why.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, but it's interesting because I have, on YouTube I have my Cougar channel.
Yeah.
It's called Cougar channel.
oh,
And I have this, one of the most popular video with the most views. It's called Advantages of Older Women, Younger Men Dating.
Mm-hmm.
And I get comments on that definitely every week. And it's really the only place, I mean, I get positive comments for that video, but it's the only place I actually get negative comments.
really?
For the most part, yeah. On Facebook or other, ways of reaching me, I don't really get negative comments. But because people can be more anonymous there, because
Right.
you don't have to put your photo up with your
Right.
channel.
Yeah.
You just have some name.
Right.
And this one guy yesterday, he's like, oh, they just want to use the women for sex. They're not going to marry them. And, this guy had like no videos, no picture, some screen name. And so, of course, they can say what they want.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, no, excuse me, but 30% of younger guys are interested in relationships with older women. He's like, no, that's not true. There's no culture that wants that. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to keep arguing with this guy.
Sure.
But that's like, at least he was kind of nice about it. But some other comments, I mean, I don't even put some of the comments on because they're like so rude.
Wow.
And they're calling them, whores and sluts.
Wow.
It's crazy because...
Yeah.
And, I always think, okay, what is your problem?
Right.
Like, no one's forcing you to date or marry an older woman.
Right.
If someone else wants to do it, that's their business.
Right. Right.
But, I mean, I would like to talk to these people.
Right.
Of course, they'll never come on the air. But, and ask them exactly, like, what is your problem? Like,
Right.
why does it bother you? And actually, if anybody wants to call in, if anyone has a problem with Cougar dating, they want to call in. The number is 323 323-203-0815. That's 323-203-0815. Let's see if someone calls in. In the meantime, I have a very interesting letter here. It says, I'm 23, and a few years back I had an affair with my best friend's mom. After a few incidents, she became very clingy, and people became suspicious of us. So I cut myself off from her since she was still married. It's been a few years since it happened, and all I can do is think about her. What should I do? I have a girlfriend my age, but I want to be with my friend's mom. And I'm assuming she's still married, because I know you're going to ask if she's still married.
Wow.
Is that like the brand now?
Really?
Everyone's in shock.
I remember you told me about Lauren's mom, who you always had.
I think this happens way more than people. I'm not saying it's happening all the time,
Right.
but this happens way more than people realize.
Sure, I'm sure.
Especially like the young guys. Let's say they're in their early teens, mid-teens, and they're hanging out at their friends' homes, and if they have a hot mom, they might develop a crush on her.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I could say that I've been in that spotlight before.
Oh, you were interested in someone's mom?
Kind of, maybe.
Did you have an affair with her?
No.
Okay. None you're willing to admit to anyway. Okay.
He's talking about Lauren's mom.
I can understand that situation. And we happen to be a best friend, and the mother happened to be a little flirtatious with me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I kind of go along with it, but I knew that I had to
not go there.
Right, exactly. I never crossed the line.
Right.
I wanted it to be a little awkward. But she would moan. I like the husband, so I didn't want to get myself killed or anything like that.
Plus, it was your friend's mom. You know, if you ever found out, he'd shoot you.
Right.
Right.
Kind of scary. You want to talk about these?
No, that's what I was gonna say. Talk about Lauren's mom. Yeah, I've met her, Marianne. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys see that commercial? Oh, what was it for? I can't even remember. Oh, I think it was like some Jägermeister or something. Maybe not. I don't know. Some alcohol. Anyways. And the guy's talking to, the guy's at his friend's house, and he's talking to him. He's like, hey, I met this hot woman last night. I can't wait to see her again. In fact, let me call her right now. And so he calls her, and then you hear a phone ringing, and the other guy goes, Mom, phone.
Oh, wait, I think I have seen that.
You must have been. It was all over the internet.
Where was that from?
Yeah, that was a commercial. Remember, I think a Jägermeister or something?
Yeah, maybe it was Jägermeister.
I never see that.
I think you've seen the Jägermeister.
From the Super Bowl?
Was it on the Super Bowl?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
No.
I mean,
But I remember
kidding?
that, of like the phone ringing and then going, Mom, and it's like,
Right.
yeah.
So I think this does happen.
Oh, sure.
But, obviously, I mean, you cannot have an affair.
Right.
People do, obviously, but obviously it's not right. So she's married. You're just going to have to leave her alone.
Oh, yeah. For this guy here, yeah. I would think so. If she's if she's still married.
And maybe also he's still thinking about her because she's forbidden.
Right.
The fact that she's married and also the best friend's mom.
Right.
So there's really not much you can do. I mean, unless she gets divorced, then it's hands off.
But I also say follow your heart.
Okay, so that's why you're not a dating expert. You'd be getting all kinds of people in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's right. That's right. You have to say.
It's like I've never been married, but it's like marriage is sacred.
Right.
And if you're going to make those vows, then you got to stick to them. And if you don't want to, then okay, either cheat. If you're going to, not either get divorced. Either cheat. No, either get divorced, or if you don't want to get divorced, if you're going to cheat, because obviously I know people cheat.
Right.
Then please just cover your tracks. Is all I can really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say no, don't cheat or get. I know people are going to cheat.
Right.
Just cover your tracks. And if you're a woman, use protection. Don't get pregnant by another man.
Right.
And if you're a man, don't come home with lipstick on your collar and perfume on your neck.
Oh gosh. Right.
That's my advice for cheating. But anyway, so back to my MP3. So we're switching around here from three different things. I don't discuss cheating on my MP3. Here's some other things that I discuss. What type of body language will get a cougar's attention? How to know if she's interested. How long to wait before calling her once you get her number.
I had a funny incident with this guy I met just at a networking brunch a couple weekends ago, and he was only like 26. Remember I told you the story?
Yeah.
And he goes, we were talking, we're totally professional and everything, and then I don't know how we got on the subject of, I don't even know how this came up, but he worked his way in of saying, I had a girlfriend who was like 12 years older than me before. And I was kind of like, where did that come from? Why did that get worked into their lives? But I think he was like trying to like, he was like trying to let me know
that he was interested.
That he was capable of hanging with an older woman.
But do you think he was interested?
I don't know. It was just kind of like, I don't know.
Did he know you were dating or engaged?
No, he didn't know.
You didn't have your ring on?
No, I did. Oh. Yeah, I did. But no, he didn't. Because it was a networking brunch, so it wasn't my frame of mind was, I'm working.
Yeah, right. You're in work mode.
And he's an
You're
actor.
In work mode, not flirt mode.
Yeah, exactly. He's an actor, so he's trying to smooth.
Right.
I'm a producer.
Right, exactly.
So,
yeah, exactly. It's a whole other.
Yeah, and then
issue.
when he said that, I was kind of like, wait, what? Oh, I think he's interested. Oh, that's why he's been talking to me for 35 minutes.
Isn't that when you should flash your ring?
Well, I never, see, that's the thing. I hang out with a lot of guys. More than women, so I'm just kind of used to it, and I just wasn't even thinking in that.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't, I know I have Sean, and that's who I think about, and so I wasn't even like thinking of him in that way,
Yeah, but sometimes I feel that she forgets about me.
Sometimes she forgets she's engaged. No.
I never forget.
I'm sure she doesn't. Which actually, now you remind me, because a lot of guys, they're like, well, how can I know if someone's a cougar, or how do I know she's interested? So the first thing I say is, okay, first of all, look to make sure she doesn't have a ring on her finger. You want to make sure she's not engaged or married. And then start talking to her. And obviously she knows you're younger, and obviously she's older, but not always,
Right.
And just carry on a regular conversation. And if she, touches you a little bit.
Right. If she touches you. Yeah.
Right. Because a woman, if she's not interested in a guy, she doesn't want to get anywhere near, like...
Right, yeah,
She does not want to touch him at all. Like, she doesn't even want to brush up against him.
That's true.
Like, stay away from me.
Right.
But if she's interested, she's going to, maybe touch your elbow,
your
some
arm.
lint off your lapel.
Right.
So those
are cues.
Yeah, those are the little signs. So I talk about that in my MP3 program, which is available at howtocatchacougar.net. I also talk about when to text, and most importantly, when not to text.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I had this female coworker that was just lame on the texting.
What was she doing?
She just, first of all, she didn't like it, and she didn't understand. She was like in her late 30s. She didn't understand that it's kind of like what people do now.
What the young kids are doing.
What the young kids are doing, yeah. And she just, she just really was offended that, that.
How dare he text
Yeah,
me?
and like I said, because and with him, I just am around because of the nature of my business, younger people in their 20s.
Right. You know what's up.
Yeah, I was like, just tell him, like, just relax. It doesn't mean he doesn't like you. It just, just like flow with it. And she's just like, no, I need a phone call. And, and these.
Damn it.
And then you're like, oh, that's why you're single.
You need a phone call, damn it. Yeah, that's true. Although, as I tell the guys, older women, they're used to the phone calls. We didn't grow up with the texting, and so we prefer a phone call. We do find too much texting actually disrespectful, and we see it as a sign of non-interest. And so you don't want to give the woman the wrong cue. If you're really interested, then you might try picking up the phone once in a while.
Yeah, I think it can go both ways. But I think if an older woman is going to be dating someone in their 20s, they need to understand that is their
MO.
I didn't text at all until I met him. So now I prefer.
Right.
But I have young kids. I can't really talk on the phone a lot. It's easier for me to text people, because every time I get on the phone, then they need something. So. Right,
exactly. See, my way around that is I still have my landline.
Oh.
And so I tell people, guys, specifically, when I give them my number, I give them the landline number, and I go, here's my number, and by the way, it's a landline.
Oh, so they can't text.
With a smirk.
Right.
Right. Except for Sprint. It's come up with this horrible idea that text to landline So if you have
yes,
Sprint,
that's right. Sprint
you can,
does.
I know,
You still can do
you can
that.
text her on landline.
Right. Right.
But I just don't answer because it's a computerized voice, and
Yeah.
you go, you have a text to landline message. Hello, how are you?
Right. I have heard that. Yeah. My mom, who's in her mid 60s, she still dates, and she prefers the phone call too. I don't know. Me, I guess I'm just a little different. I just don't have time to talk on the phone to people. But I know a lot of women
Yeah.
do.
Right. So I tell the women, okay, calm down, just know that that's where he's coming from. But then I also tell the guys in my MP3 program at howtocatchacougar.net that be cognizant of that, if you know what that means.
Yeah.
Be aware of it.
Yeah.
And if you're going to ask for a date, pick up the phone.
Oh, yeah, definitely if you're going to ask for a date.
Right.
Pick
Yeah,
up
but
the
come on.
phone.
Some of them say, hey, you want to hang out tomorrow night? Via
Well,
text.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And
See,
like,
yeah.
no, I don't. Not if that's how you're going to ask me. Because we're used to dating guys our age or older who
Yeah.
pick up the phone and let us know ahead of time. They're not just at the last minute or just texting. So if you're going to date an older woman and you're serious about wanting to have a relationship, I mean, yeah, if you're just looking for a booty call, then do what you want. And
Right.
but if you're not, then you have to remember to pick up the phone more often than not.
Yeah, I didn't really, because Sean is hard of hearing. He never used the phone, so our relationship actually got built on text messaging and IMs.
Right.
So it was never, there were some times where I'd be like, yeah, I want to hear your voice, and and then he would call me and just to say hello or something like
I made a
that.
big mistake. Call you.
Oh, with the message?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you left a voicemail message. Yeah.
What happened?
And your ex-husband.
Oh, the ex-husband heard it.
Yeah.
Is that who are you having an affair with?
Yeah, who's this and whatnot. But yeah, I know that's can be very important.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one more question here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this guy, he goes, do you think it's normal to be attracted to cougars from the age of 16? That is how young I was since I've been attracted to older women. I'm very shy. I see older women I'd love to talk to, but I can't make a move. I have a girlfriend, but I get turned on by when I look at older women. I'm now 19.
Wow.
So again, first of all, yeah, obviously it's normal to be attracted to older women at any age.
Yeah, I've talked to several men that tell me that they've always been attracted, like Jeff, my friend Jeff, who's my age, and he said that he's rarely had a relationship with a woman his age ever since he was a teenager. He's always, speaking of, he actually had an affair with his friend's mom.
No. Well, we're covering all the bases here.
And he's always, ever since he was a teenager. So I think just some men naturally, have always liked older women.
That's true. So that means he's in his 40s now. Is he still dating older women?
Yeah.
And how much older is the woman that he's dating
They're
now?
like
or?
50. 50s. Yeah,
50, 20.
15, sometimes
And I'm
20.
under
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
20 years
definitely.
older?
Yeah, like definitely in their 50s, and I think one of them was even in their early 60s, I think.
See? Love has no limits.
Yeah.
Love has no age limits.
But he found it, he doesn't want to. He wants to find someone his age because he wants to have kids.
Ah.
So then that ran into that. He had that whole issue because he had dated older women his
Right,
whole life.
right.
And then when we wanted to have kids, they didn't
want to.
kids.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so what happened? So now he's looking for someone younger to have kids with?
Mm-hmm.
He waited now till now?
Nothing does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does happen. But I also know of a couple where they broke up for that reason because he wanted to have kids. And then after a few months, then he got back in touch with her and he said, you know what, I would rather be with you without kids than have to be alone with someone else with kids. So he chose her over the kids.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's when you know it's true love.
Right. Yeah.
Are you guys going to have kids?
Yeah, he wants a kid.
Of course they do.
He's a man. Of course he
He's
wants a
been
kid.
wonderful
Thank you.
raising, helping me raise my two little ones. And then I also have an older daughter. And even with her, he's been wonderful. So he's been great on all aspects of things. But of course, he wants his own. I do want to have a kid with him. I just wish I didn't have to be pregnant. That's the only thing. I wish I could just skip that part.
We all women wish that. Okay, I wish that we could have them in a incubator.
Do a little bewitched thing in it.
Maybe one day we can have them in incubators.
Right.
And then just go pick them up 9 months later.
Right.
Here's your
So-
baby.
So, and that was actually another factor of the reason getting married too, was that, because he wanted to have a child, and so.
You'd have it ready.
So what? How did you know that she was the one?
How did you know that I was the one?
I think it comes down to the way we communicate. And
Communication?
The way we hug each other, the way we lay down, everything puzzles together perfectly.
It just felt right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just feel right.
So you never considered, okay, this is fine for now, but I want to marry someone younger or my age. That never crossed your mind, or maybe it did.
Yeah, I did.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
For
she said
at some
before.
point.
But
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Every
Yeah.
guy dreamed of being with a woman my age. So I never thought that I might end up with somebody 30 years older than me.
Right.
But I think I made the right decision. So.
Yeah, and also I think you had some growing up to do because you were 23 when you met, so there was still some maturing to do on your part.
Yeah,
yeah.
and she kind of had me grown into a better person.
Yeah.
No matter, I suppose, if I was with a younger woman, I think I would still be positive around, not be disgustful, not go to school, all that stuff. So she helped me come from a long way, and I'm very glad that I'm still with her.
Yeah, so that's
His mom actually recommended that before he met me, that he start dating older women, because
Yeah.
his mom is older than his stepdad
oh,
by 11
okay.
years.
Forgot about
Okay, right.
My
Yeah.
mom telling me that.
Yeah, his stepdad's only a couple years older than me.
So it runs in the
Kinda-
family.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages actually
Yeah.
of dating. Even if you're a woman and you date an older guy, you become more mature faster. In fact, when I was 20, 21, I dated this guy who was 45.
Right, I did too.
And
yeah.
and so I remember saying to him, "Tell me everything I need to know about life, so I can know now. I don't have to go through." And he's like, "Well, you're just gonna have to go through some things."
Right.
And he was so classy. He looked like Omar Sharif, and I know. And he had a scar on his forehead. And I said, "What's that scar from?" And he goes, "Sometimes in life you're forced to do things you'd rather not do." And I was like, "Wow, what a classy answer."
Wow.
As opposed to, well, I got into this fight.
right.
So he was really classy, and that really helped me a lot. So we have come to the end of the show. Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh.
I told you it was going to fly by quickly.
It does.
So any parting words to any couples out there who, their maybe their parents or their children are against the relationship? What advice would you give to them, Lena?
I think that's one thing, regardless of age, that I feel very strongly about is that I feel that people should be allowed to feel what they want to feel and, pursue relationships that they want to pursue. And, they shouldn't let somebody else or, their family or their friends tell them who they should see or not see. So if they, if that's what they're into, it's okay. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
Right. Obviously. Yeah, I always say, don't be embarrassed or ashamed because you're not doing anything wrong.
Right.
And if you love someone, then go for it.
Right.
So,
Regardless of age.
exactly. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being
You're
on.
welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much, too.
Happy marriage. Happy wedding and then happy marriage.
Oh my God, we got so
We will
much
have
to
a
do.
good one.
And
I can't wait.
Well, the other thing is just I totally know him inside and out. It's like there's no
well, after
surprises.
6 years, come
Yeah,
on, you better know him inside
exactly.
out. Cool. Well, thanks so much for being on. And
You're welcome.
in case you didn't catch it, again, my MP3 is available at howtocatchacougar.net. And my website is theartoflove.net, where you can sign up for my free weekly newsletter. I know Lena's on one of my lists. She gets my emails once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And find out what I'm doing, what I'm up to. My book, Lucia's Lessons of Love, is available at lessonsoflove.net. And until next time, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.
You're listening to The Art of Love with your host, Lucia, right here on LA Talk Radio.